Enjoy the air show. We are flying in the backseat of Blue Angel number 4, Mr. Razor.
You're more than welcome to ask any questions that either you have or the chat has. Depending on what comms are going on, I might not be able to answer right away, or I might not hear you. I might have to ask you to repeat yourself, just depending on how loud Coop is or whatever, but I'll be happy to answer when I have a second.
Coming right.
Okay, thank you so much, Razor. I'm finishing some setups of the stream here, but I will ask...
Boss ramp to 71%, referencing 20 knots.
Cool.
Okay, Tweezy. Okay, boss. Boss.
And here, guys, they are calling Tweezy because you guys know that I'm called Teasy, Mr. Tweezy. So, let's see the chat. So, no problem. I think that's fixed, right? You can hear Razor now.
I don't.
Dreadnought is saying that my voice is a little quiet. Okay, I will try to fix it too.
Easy bricks.
And
a little more bricks. Easy bricks. Break.
AC is also here. Welcome, AC. Yeah, fantastic. And
you all set?
Hope to fly. No way. Is this the real Blue Angel? Almost like that. They are the DCS World Blue Angels. Yeah, we are all set.
Boss Smo, Data 1's coming. We have an airfield and the airspace. You're clear for takeoff. Have a good one. Thanks, Mo. We're clear for takeoff. Solos, we're clear for takeoff.
Solos ready to rocket for Peaceful Viper, boss.
Boss, we're clear for takeoff. Winds down. Check your park break off. Check your trim set. Check your nose. Wheel steering on maneuver. Diamond off squirrel cage. Wheel turn off.
Yeah.
There's our diamond clears on 9 lines fighter for Peaceful Viper and his stream. That's bro.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for making this happening.
Yeah. Tweezy. Right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, brakes now. Burners ready now.
Here we go. The takeoff, guys. Get ready and roll to your seats. Look at the precision that these guys have on the maneuvers.
A little drive. Up we go. A little more.
Look at that, so amazing.
Critical 16 partners ready now. Easy power. Easy more power.
How cool is that, guys?
Okay.
Dreadnought is also here. Sorry, I was not paying so much attention to the chat, but if you guys have some questions to make today, we will make a little interview after.
We go. A little more adding power. Adding more power. First one.
I hope you guys are enjoying.
Vertical 6-3.
I'm really enjoying
easing power. Easy more power.
So we are at the back seats of
a little ease.
If you have some
questions,
I can
little more power. Ease the pull. Smoke. Go on the left. That's clear. Two's clear. Let's go, good shot. Adding a little power. A little paw. We're behind the guy for the dive at 360. Cat. Tease it. Preserve. Everyone's calm. Boss. Little paw.
What's your favorite maneuver?
You know, it kind of depends on the day. The 360 is usually a lot of fun. It's pretty challenging. It's not only are we trying to fly close like everyone in the formation is, but I'm also flying off of someone who's already trying to fly close. So it's always a dynamic maneuver of trying to see how everyone's feeling that day and how smooth they are. Double farvel is also a lot of fun. I'm still very much trying to get used to it in the new flight model. We've only flown the new flight model a couple months now, so it's very different, but that was a lot of fun too. Yeah, those are kind of the two main ones, I'd say.
Stick it in.
I know that you are offsetting this one, right?
Yep, absolutely. So basically, we want it to look like a diamond from the ground. So effectively, if you were to look up, you should see the cloud between the two wingtips of 2 and 3 here, once we're kind of established in this turn.
We're in 360. Cat. Tease it. Preserve. Smoke on. Clear, John. A little paw. Clear, John. Adding power. Adding more power. Smoke on. That's fair.
Go into the back.
Airshow I.
Once again.
Oh, Airshow. He's in that pole. Rolling up.
It's okay. Yeah.
Just out. He's clear. Just clear, clear, John. We're about to go for the dive roll. Cat. He's preserve.
Having your view get moved around a little bit.
Ease and a little power. Smoke up. Contact. Ease a little more power. Coming. Left. Ready. Hit it. Coming further left. Roll. 1 second. A little paw. A little more paw. Adding a little power in left turn for the diamond roll. Yeah.
And by
Teaser.
the way, this
Preserve.
thank you for redeeming the fireworks. Yeah, that was really good.
He's in the pole. Rolling up. The diamond roll little drive. Cat. Teaser. Preserve. Second in. Ease little power. Smoke one. Up wheel. Okay.
Here we go, the diamond roll. Look how beautiful this is. Look how close they are. One of each other.
Comes the paw.
Really amazing.
Ease the paw. Smoke off. Just down. Grab left. Coming further left. Ready. Hit it. A little paw. Adding a little power. Ready. Hit it. He's good run. Watch me. We're in left turn for the diamond and then roll. Yeah. Tease it. Preserve.
the aileron roll, one of my favorite in the world.
So you can see the 360 is not the only place we offset a fair bit. So like in these turns and stuff, I do the same thing. So we're not as close, obviously, but still offset so that it looks a little bit more like the diamond if anyone from the crowd were to look this direction.
Yes, this is fantastic.
Little easing power.
Actually, this maneuver is one of my favorites. I think it's one of the most easy.
He's full roll.
It's very
The diamond and aileron a little drive. Yeah. Further, second in.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is a lot of maneuvers, they are probably, this one is probably one of the easier ones, but it's also,
Diamond's out, well clear.
it's one that takes a lot of practice to get really accurate, so you can get pretty close.
Ready, hit it.
Yeah. Oh,
Stick it in. Camaraderie. Smoke off.
But like getting everyone to roll at exactly the same time is always difficult.
Little
So you can get pretty close, but to make it look really, really accurate, it takes it takes just about as much practice as any of the other maneuvers as well.
yeah.
You can see the same thing here on this exit, we're doing the same thing, so...
Third loop check exit on. Yeah. 2-0.
So I'm under 3's wing now, and then 2's a little bit tighter than he would normally be flying on an exit.
For all the fours,
So that we
2.2
make
miles.
it look more like a diamond from the ground. This one is particularly important for that, because the crowd is looking in that direction, because the solos are coming in from behind us, from the crowd.
Exit, rolling it.
Do you offset always
I think I
when
heard
we are turning?
Generally, yeah, in the diamond,
hooks.
yes. So in Delta we don't, because we don't offset for
Stand by that
formation.
board, sports.
But in the diamond, yeah, generally we do. I can't think of a place we don't.
Coming right. Roll now. Coming further right.
And obviously we're all kind of in a winter training period of sorts still. So Coop started leading about a year ago now, so he's got some time. But we're still trying to learn new flight model, all that, and then did some position changings aside from that. So there's stuff obviously we have to clean up and...
Further. Right here for the diamond loop. Yeah. Crazy. Further, second in. Boards up.
So there's some things that... we got plenty of distance. So there's some stuff that we have to update and fix, and so like there's in some of these turns, then we're not quite in the right sets. But it's the stuff we work on and
the
we
diamond
do
dirty
great
loop will
afterwards.
drive.
But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
you are making
Further.
fantastic follow on, the team is flying together, this team.
Smoke one.
the team started in 2018, and most of us were on the team at that point. That's fine right now. TZ is fairly new, so he joined a couple years ago as kind of about a year ago now, something around that. Kind of as a spare pilot, and then we ended up needing him to take a spot. So he's been flying pretty consistently for the last few months. But most of the rest of the team has been around since 2018, 2019, something like that, but we've all changed positions, so everyone that's flying right now is in a different spot than where they started. Keeps it fresh.
It's incredible.
There's some maneuvers that I definitely can't do that with. Can't do it on 360. You won't hear me talking much on like 3 back-to-back for the fan brake and stuff, but there's some that are a little bit less strenuous. There's stuff I have to look at a little bit less. So that's the other thing is Slot's the in-flight safety observer, so I'm paying attention to everyone else as well. Make sure we're safe and that boss is flying maneuver safely. So some maneuvers that's pretty easy to do while you're just flying, but some it's not quite so easy.
Adding a little more power. Coming back to the left. Just enough. Good try. Coming further left.
We are still tapping.
Little
right?
pause.
Yep, that's correct.
So I have to roll to my seat right now.
Remind the
Yep.
little purple chicken flap so.
Cinch up your seatbelt.
Take it easy. Razor, sorry. A little more pause.
Make sure all your barf bags and everything are
We're in the
safely
left turn,
secured.
little purple inverted chicken fleet pops on. Take it easy. Razor. This one. Go further left.
So we'll see how this one goes. This is definitely the one that I've struggled the most with since the new flight model update, but we'll see how it goes. We'll keep it safe, that's the key. So if we don't feel super confident about it, we'll just stay a little bit wide.
And up, pull. Roll it out. Double fire little drive. Cap. Easy. Razor.
Yeah, no problem. The double fireball
Little
coming
pull
next.
to
Really
level.
good.
So
I
switch
will
slow
roll
here,
to
but we're
really
accelerating.
tight.
Lost set 360. Ready, hit it.
Oh.
Second in.
Yeah.
Smoke on.
About to get overpowered.
Center point. Little push. Ready, roll. Roll it out. Look off. 390 decelerating. Coming left. The full one. Last round for the frame pops out. Cat. Easy. Razor. Pops out. Smoke on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That one's pretty rough, but like I said, that's why we practice, obviously, and you always want to be safe rather than super close
360.
and risk bumping someone or whatever, so.
350. Got full boss. Smoke off.
Looks clear, clouds broken at 12,000.
Boss. Ease in a little power to refer to the left. Ease in a little more power. Ease pull, roll it out.
This is one of the ones that we've definitely have to work on the most. It's just a lot of moving parts, a lot of dynamic stuff going on, so again, it'll be the same thing.
Second in.
And try to just be smooth and
Ease in a hair power.
keep it safe.
Coming to ease off, go right on. Cat.
Easy. Razor. Set cat.
Cat. Coming further left. A little
that was really
pause. Big step, run, favorite. Cat.
Easy. Razor.
Smoke on.
Yeah, no problem. Do you have
Good
some
try.
questions to ask to
Little
Razor? Do you want to make some questions to Razor? Feel free to write that on the chat.
Good try. Good try.
Ease pull coming back to the right. Go diamond. Cat.
Easy. Razor. Set cat.
Cat.
He's clear. He's clear. He's clear.
Nine power. Boss.
Yeah, so you got a nice demonstration there of what happens when people, we call it accordioning.
We're about to go for the change of roll.
So basically, if two moves, then three, it's very easy for three to react to that. And then he'll move, and then because of that, four ends up having to move, or ends up moving, because there's a bunch of bouncing going down the line. So it's very interesting to watch, particularly in a review or whatever, and you'll see two bounce, and then three bounce, and then four bounce.
He's right. Go.
Like
Let's
goes down the,
Cat.
Razor.
goes down the line.
Cat.
But that's stuff you gotta work on and practice and debrief, but
little pause.
Sorry, not.
Ease and a hair power. A little
I
more
will try to
pause.
fix this. I don't know why.
We're in the right turn for the change of roll. Yeah.
It's quiet.
Easy. Razor.
I will try to fix
it's one of the interesting things too. So this rollout's very difficult because we're getting it rolled out into. So we have to push quite a bit.
A change
in this
over
rollout,
roll.
all while trying to stay in position,
Easy.
and everyone else is doing the same.
Razor. Second in.
It's one of the things you don't really think about. It's like, oh, the maneuvers are hard or not hard or not quite as hard or whatever, but the rollouts can be just as difficult depending on which maneuver it is.
can see.
Okay.
Here we go.
Good having. Yeah. Teaser. Pressure. Compressor.
You guys make this so smooth.
Having. Boss.
Yeah, that's the goal. So interestingly, that's a very appropriate word to pick there. So smooth is what we go for, right? So smooth is the goal, not close necessarily. So close will come with time after you're smooth and safe, but we want everything to be smooth first. So we're not quite there on a lot of stuff, but we're reasonable about it.
So, okay, I'm left.
So, you know, if
Adding
a
a
lot of
little
people
power, 360.
will see the demo and they'll think, oh, I have to fly super
But
close,
further
or I
left.
have to fly super precise, or whatever. And
355.
while it might seem like we're flying really close right now, we've definitely flown closer in the past.
Middle.
But that's just because we're all learning and
355.
training again or whatever.
Just
And so
Quick try. Come in
So-
further to the left.
we'll
350.
you know, tighten it up a little bit more once we get more comfortable. But for now, you stay wider. So that's kind of the same thing when you start.
350.
For a lot of people that might want to start getting into it, is you don't have to fly
Sure.
super close. So you fly the same
Boss, left turn number
same reference generally.
Yeah. 20. Other. Fuck.
And then you just fly a little bit further away, or a lot further away, and that way
Little more
you can focus on being smooth. So like if you're over here bouncing around like this all the time,
It's a
it's very difficult to fly off
Some
of.
big go on a rest. Yeah. 20. Other.
You also
Fuck.
can't learn very well
Roll it
doing
up, line
that.
pursuit,
So you
little
want to be
drive.
smooth first, and then
20. Other. Fuck.
you can work on
Wings are level, smoke
how
up.
tight you are.
Yeah, that's a very, very great tip. By the way, can you guys hear me better on stream?
Middle.
Very difficult.
More power. Letting power.
Look at this.
Clear
The
track.
line breaststroke. This is very difficult. And they are performing this so beautiful.
Vertical 6-6. Clear try. Easing power. Ease more power. A little ease comes the paw. Clear try.
That's so cool.
Little more paw. Clear try. Clear try.
That was incredible.
Good, I'm here. Yeah. Easy. Pleasure. Power.
I appreciate it. That's one of the better ones I've had, this flight model.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
Flex touch. Cam left.
It's good there. Obviously, there's a lot to work on, but so obviously you got to
Coming
practice. And
further
the interesting
left.
thing is, you know, you can have one night that the maneuver's really rough, and then the next night it's pretty
middle
half and that was okay.
Clear turn. Ease little power.
So,
Back crowd.
sometimes
Over.
you can't get frustrated.
Cat. Easy. Further, someone.
You can't get super frustrated about how you're flying or how a maneuver goes, and then think about it the whole time. Because if you have a bad maneuver, then you're if you don't kind of let that go and just move on, then you can mess up the rest of the flight.
Trailing.
So Slinky is asking on my chat, what side picture does Razor use
a little
to
power.
fly the line abreast set?
Coming left.
Sure. So there's a canopy bow on the front
Coming
of
further left.
front of the canopy there,
Contact.
and
Little.
so if you're close enough to see it, then you should be able to see the other side of the canopy bow.
Cat. Easy. Further. Little more pull.
If you're a little bit low or a little bit behind or a little bit forward, I mean. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to line up the canopy bow to be one line, so you can't see the inside of the canopy bow, if that makes sense, of three or one a jet. The other thing you can do if you're a little bit too far from that, or you don't quite understand what that would be, is you're trying to line up helmets of everyone else. So as 4, I just have to line 1 and 3's helmet up, and that means that at least 1 and 3 and I are matching positioning.
Oh, good idea. Adding power.
And also a question from No Problem. What does it mean when Weather says clear to rejoin?
Sure, one second.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
Smoke off.
He's got your boss.
Boss.
Look at that. Wonderful. Yeah, Cookie, that was beautiful.
Lovely.
In Portuguese, a kill for wind. Awesome. Yeah, that was really cool.
380 coming left.
Got full loss.
Boss for the cut for the barrel. Rover. Cat.
TC.
Roger.
Yeah, so
375. Ready, hit it.
so
He's
clear
full
to join.
contact
So
to the right.
I have my
370.
mirrors on
Yeah?
in the jet, so I can see behind me, and so I have to move my view a little bit because in real life they actually adjust it so you can see it.
Oh,
But I'm
you want
looking at
360.
the smoke trails of everyone else, so including myself,
660,
technically, I guess. But I'm looking at 2 and 3 smoke trail, and then
360.
when we're in Delta,
You got full loss.
Boss
when
right
we're in
there,
Delta,
barrel
I'm looking at everyone.
Cat.
TC.
nice.
And when the smoke goes off, that means that pilot
He's
is
a full real quick.
indicating they're out of position. And so when I see that, I observe where they're at to make sure
Ready, hit it.
that they're safe still. And then as long as they're safe and they're moving back in their spot, then I'll say clear to rejoin, and that means they can turn their smoke back on. And the reason that call comes from SWAT is because that means that everyone turns their smoke back on at the same time
TC.
if more than one person has turned their smoke off. So it makes it look a little bit more uniform and symmetrical.
Smoke one.
So you don't just have the smoke going on and off and on and off all throughout the demo.
A little more
And then if we're behind the crowd, or in a couple maneuvers, depending on the time of the year, then instead of turning the smoke off, or if the smoke is not on, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will say they're clear. So they'll just say their call sign and then clear. That's indicating the same thing, and then I make the same comment, just saying, okay, I observed that, and you're okay to stay in position. So like if I noticed that they were super unsafe for whatever reason, then I could make a different comment. I could basically tell them, hey, you need to step away from the formation a little bit, and then come back in.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, and thank you so much for David GPT for the raid with 2 viewers. Thank you, man. How are you?
Appreciate it. Welcome.
Como é que tu estás? Oh, it is the Portuguese friend of mine that raid me.
Nice.
Break. Smoke off. Bubbling.
He's got your boss.
Cat. Boss.
Right.
300. Coming left.
You'll have full boss.
So, now one question of mine.
We're behind crowd.
What do you
No, big
aim
cross. Plus 200.
when you are
Yeah,
rejoining?
TZ
What
400.
speeds are you aiming
That's right.
and
310.
are you...
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Just full
speeds
rail
aren't
up at
really,
315.
there are good indications of speed, so you don't really want to be more than 100
Coming
knots
very
faster
low.
than the person you're trying to join on, generally. And then the
330.
main thing is you want to be safe. So like right now, you can see TZ's in already in front of us, and then Tomcat's off to my right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm staying a little bit low here, so that he has plenty of room to
350.
maneuver if he were to overshoot, or if he were to have an issue. And then I'm kind of joining with him. And then we basically have...
You got full. On the ferry to the left.
You got full boss.
A little.
we have kind of contracts, if you will, of where everyone can
Boss
be on the
Richard
region.
Blue. Break cross. Cat.
TC.
Roger.
So like the inside wing, so that would be TZ in this case, he's always going to be underneath the formation or below the formation in altitude.
Break cross.
And then I'm level,
TC.
and 2,
Roger.
and then the outside wing is above the formation.
One.
So generally I'm just kind of paying attention to that. And then speeds,
Hey, break.
Oh,
Rail it on.
so nice.
speeds are just, I want to make sure that I'm not closing too fast and I'm not too far behind either.
1 mile mark.
That'll hit.
I'm up to our altitude,
and a
maybe missed
half,
that a little bit. Behind.
Fine.
30 low.
30 high.
At the 90 descending hat.
Razor. Sorry, Cat.
Mile and a half, mark.
Line 400.
1 mile, mark.
400.
Half mile, mark 360.
400 merge.
And look at this merge.
Smoke off.
Oh,
Got what?
Alright.
that was perfect. Did you see that, guys? And David, bem-vindo. Welcome,
Fine,
David.
boss. There he is. We're a little bit late here.
As you can see,
He's full.
David,
Roll it
we
300,
are
500 feet.
flying
350
with
Tomcat.
DCS World Blue Angels in the backseat of the Super Hornet. Great.
Route section knots, but
Cross over
1.5
to
miles.
That's a
the
great
crowd.
305,
We'll
come right.
detach
great
two.
rate.
Go get him.
How are you, man?
We'll be off to our right now.
Your stream goes well?
Little 315.
Hold on.
Boss,
Again, you can see the same thing, so I'm above.
Yeah.
Easy.
Where's it?
320.
So I'm higher in altitude, so that way, again, Tomcat can make whatever maneuvers he needs, because I know 3's already in there.
Ease and a little
And
power.
then we'll start tightening it up.
Careful, boss.
I can see.
Boss. Ease and a little more power. Ease and up. Oh. Roll it out.
And what do you aim for you to be in position on the diamond?
Sure, so
Quick shot.
I've kind of gotten
Stand
used
by
to,
the
it's a
boards,
bad
boards.
answer, but I've gotten used to
Okay.
what diamond set should be, based on how we're flying at a particular time, so I kind of have
Come in
a
right.
general idea of what I see in my VR headset for where I should be,
Come in
so I
further
can
right,
see
using a
where
little
I'm kind of
power.
deeper or flat or a little aft or forward or whatever. But technically the reference is the same exact reference off of the
little more
wingmen as the wingmen are flying off of boss, if that makes sense. So they
Using a
have
little more power.
set
We're in the right
off
turn
of,
for the burner
uh,
270.
the wing,
Yeah.
and I'm flying.
Cruiser.
I'm flying the same reference off of them. So if I were to look to my right or to my left when we're straight and level, so obviously I'm
Using a little
I'm
more
offset here 'cause
power.
we're in a turn. But when we're in straight and level, and I look to my right or to my left, I should see the same reference that
Ease
either
and
2 or 3
power.
sees
Ease
on
and
the
pull.
wing.
Roll it out. The burner 270.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Cruiser.
Stick it in. And then depending on where we are, I might be a little bit deep.
Smoke
I
pump.
tend to fly a little bit deeper.
Ease and a little more power.
Technically deeper than the
Oh,
normal
it's up.
set when we're behind the crowd. Just, again, we're in training, so I'd prefer to be a little bit further away just in case someone moves around a little bit, but in general, that's the idea.
Great.
Come to left. Okay.
And we'll shift to the right again here, so we cheat that by turning a little bit later than the boss.
Burner's ready now. Comes the pull. A little more pull.
This
Burner's
one
ready now. Easy power. Easy more
is a very hard
power.
maneuver too, right?
Yeah, it is pretty
Quitter, John.
the new flight model, this is one of the things the new flight model has done very nicely with it. It's a lot easier to fly. We're flying a lot higher G than we were before
Great.
with this flight model, but it is still, I mean, we're pulling like 2.7 Gs right now, so it's always a little bit interesting. The getting in and out of burners is normally the hard part of it.
Ease pull. Roll out.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to true diamond here.
Easing a little power. Smoke off.
Use it out. Diamond clears on 16.
Yeah.
Reserve.
Ease a little power.
So,
370.
this
Back
part,
up to the Delta
you
roll.
get-
Boss 54. Yeah.
Reserve 5.
Flex 4-3, Mr. Is.
Sorry, Razor 345. Crush
You
it
get a
360.
little bit of an interesting experience here because we don't have 6 tonight, so that
Coming
means I have to fly outer right,
Oh
which
yeah.
is smart. Don't fly
Coming
very much.
further left.
The big V now, right?
Yep.
There we go.
Little.
5 should be joining off to the left here in just a minute or two.
355.
Yeah, I can see him.
Adding a little power. 350.
For any of
We're
you
about
might
to
be on the
roll.
stream that
Yeah.
maybe
Flex, you get 5 plus.
Boss, go for the left.
that maybe hasn't flown a bunch of formation or maybe is wondering about it or whatever, but what I'm doing right here is I'm trying to line up Tomcat's helmet, so 2's helmet, 1's helmet, and then I'm trying to fly through him. So basically, if Tomcat moves, if I see him bobble around, I'm trying to hold what I have. So like he got a little low there, not a lot, but I'm trying to fly.
What you are saying is that you are trying to fly just with the boss, right?
Correct, yep. So I use Tomcat as a reference, so forward, back, up, down, and whatever. But I'm not trying to fly off of him, because if I try to fly off of him, then I'm going to bounce around a lot, more than I already am.
Yeah, very nice.
Super tight.
Good run. Little good run.
Yeah, that recover was really smooth. Fantastic.
I appreciate it. It was alright. It's obviously stuff to practice, as always, but...
Coming left.
And like I've said a few times, the main thing we're looking for, especially in kind of an earlier or a winter training period, is that we want to be smooth. So, like, you can see I got out of position there a number of times. So like I was underneath Tomcat's wing there for a little bit. And when that happens, then I don't want to make aggressive movements, because if I do that, then it's going to look really bad from the ground. Because if you start doing that, you can actually see it from the ground. And then if I had someone flying off of me or outside of me, then it would be even worse for them, right? So like right now, Flex is flying off of me, so I'm focused on just be super smooth. Don't be making a bunch of adjustment.
Yeah, no problem. They are missing the solo here today. They are flying in a big view.
Yep.
I think he's nozzle. Right? Not here.
That's right.
Cat. Fuck. Smoke one. Bird week. Hero.
Oh gosh.
Signal.
So now I'm just looking at the wingman, make sure we're good on timing. We are. Make sure everyone's safe. We are. So we'll start
Vertical,
pushing in
6-0.
here. Again, we'll stay over a little to the left. So it makes it look a little bit better from the ground. So we'll start shifting a little bit more towards true trail or true slot.
Very cool.
Boss.
This Rejoining is awesome.
It is definitely interesting. I think we finally got it figured out in the last couple flights, but it was very interesting there, the power change in this flight model update. So we struggled with it for a while there.
Coming left.
Yeah, regarding someone being out, so yeah, our opposing solo is out tonight, couldn't be here. So that is one of the interesting things with flying 4. It's always, a lot of people say they want to fly 4 because it's the easiest position, because they look at it and they go, oh, it's just fine, you're just flying trail. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on with it. It's probably not the hardest position. I would argue it's definitely not the hardest position, but there is a lot of stuff that makes it more difficult than a lot of people think it would be.
Yeah, and you have to make sure that everyone is flying correctly, right?
Correct, yep, so positioning, so I'm just taking notes of positioning rather than correcting for positioning, unless it's a safety of flight issue, meaning like someone's too close, then I might, or then I would.
325, that'll fire.
Then I would make an adjustment in that case.
Okay, come on. T's 600. There's a 200. Flex 400.
But yeah, generally I'm just kind of looking at positioning, and then if we have an issue with positioning, we'll debrief it, so afterwards we'll talk about it. Because otherwise it's just too much going on in the demo. It throws everyone off. If I start telling people to move position. But then looking at safety stuff, looking at smoke trails, again to clear people to rejoin if they need to. And then if anyone in the formation drops...
Cat. 20. Roger. Roger. Flight.
Use the wrong radio there. Got 3 push to talks and it's confusing me. Oh yeah, if anyone in the formation drops, the way that we currently have it going, I end up taking that spot. So even if Bosch drops out for some reason, I end up taking over for that generally. Although that's not kind of steadfast, but everything else, so if 2, 3, 5, or 6 drop out, then I take their spot for that part of the demo. If there's more than that, then there's some weird stuff that happens on where I end up going, but that is the way the real team does it as well, so that the formation at least looks pretty symmetrical. Like right now, it would look pretty weird if you had 5 out the outer left, and then I was still in slot because you have a non-symmetrical formation going. Bobble there, and fly through it.
Center point.
This is fun. We go to 6's line.
Smoke.
And when smoke goes off, we go back to 4's line.
Lovely.
Oh, nice.
1 mile mark forwarded.
Behind 440.
Mile and a half mark forwarded.
440.
2 miles mark.
450.
Smoke on.
Yeah, what an amazing show, Mr. Cookie. That's right.
Up we
I'm enjoying this so much.
go.
Look at that.
Vertical 4-5.
200 feet high.
Arc rise to top and on 6-9, 180, easy power idle.
7-4, 260.
Ready, roll hat. On.
Steep.
Lovely.
I love that car.
Gonna be early here.
2 miles mark forwarded.
360 boards.
Mile and a half mark forwarded.
360.
1 mile mark forwarded.
360 the markage.
Half mile mark.
Yeah, that was my bet on that. That was rough.
Smoke off.
That was still amazing.
380, coming left.
What was interesting, so another thing that Slot does
370
there is
little,
it's Slot's job to time that cross. So what should happen in an ideal world is 1, 2, and 3 all cross at the same time, and then 4, 5, and 6 all cross at the same time, and then 1 and 4 are trying to time together to make sure that everyone crosses at the same time. So the 2 groups cross show center at the same time.
330, easy power.
Mr. Cookie is
Also be right
saying
turn on the brake
that the fact that you are talking and making this look so easy, it's really, really cool.
320.
Appreciate it. It's just takes a bunch of practice.
Coming left.
Obviously, like I said, points that I don't, and I wouldn't, but
Route 10.
you got 5 bars. Yeah, 5 bars.
Boss. Little
How long do you fly in DCS?
In DCS, so technically I had DCS in like 2006 or 7 probably, but I didn't fly very much, only flew a little bit. I really got back into it when the Hornet came out in whatever, I think 2018 that was. So whenever, same time the team started, I started flying a fair bit. But I've been flying Blues on different flight sims for since what, 2014, so 10 years now.
And did you get into aerobatics right when you started flying DCS?
Yeah, for DCS basically, the little bit of time I did in 2006, I was doing some random flying around with folks doing combat and stuff, but that's all I fly now is I don't really do anything combat related. If I do, it's just dropping down bombs and stuff for fun.
How many Gs are you pulling on this maneuver?
About 2. I'm trying to match Tomcat,
Lovely.
which I don't think I did a very good job of, but
Oh, that looks amazing. But number 1
350.
and number 2
You'll have us.
are pulling less Gs, right?
About to come to the Delta left, pitch a brake, runway 15. Yeah. Roger. Flight. Coming right. 345.
So this is one of the other things with the rejoin. So you want to lead a
345,
rejoin, so we kind of talked
middle.
about earlier. But the other part, so now because I'm flying a 6, I can kind of use 6's line here. So 6 is below the formation. It's on the inside of the turn here. And then you want to set your reference first. So like you want to be established here. So you can kind of see I'm flying the reference basically. Right? And then I just start driving it in on that reference. So you want to make sure you do that first so that you're safe. Because you can see your movement forward and aft before you start tightening up. A lot of people try to join from behind, and that is super dangerous. Because you can't see your closure rate at all. So the only thing you have...
He's out of the pole, round a little bit. Second in. Smoke on.
So the only thing you can use as your closure gauge, basically, is your airspeed, and that's just not something you want to rely on. You want to be able to have a visual reference as well, because we really, boss is giving us airspeeds, but that's just to get us in a ballpark. We really want to be using our eyes to actually visually fly. Like, I'm not using the airspeeds he's given me to get into position. I'm just using that as a ballpark to get close to him.
He's pull, rolling out. The Delta left, pitcher brake, runway 15. Cat, left braking. Tis, further.
And we are
Little pull to level.
ending this Airshow, right? The Delta pitcher.
Center,
The landing.
Cat braking. Tis brake. Pitch braking.
Oh, that takes a minute.
Flex brake.
Cookie, boa noite. Thank you so much for being here. We are almost ending the stream also, so if you can wait
300,
for
smoke off.
5 more minutes, we will try to make the interview right after the flight.
275, 70 gear, good flaps. Boss go.
You want to make some more questions?
Here's your flaps scope.
Here's your
flaps go.
Flash scope scope.
We're at the 90 wind scrum, checking through the stairs, right? Cat.
Here's
Further.
flex.
220.
240s. 260 raise.
260 flex. 200.
240s. 240 raise.
260 flex. 180.
200 easy. 220 raise.
240 flex. 160.
180 easy. 200 raise.
220 flex. 140 all the way.
160 easy. 180 raise.
200 flex.
148 easy.
Se Cookie não
160
deve
raise.
demorar muito,
180 flex.
vamos agora aterrar, por isso
140 all the way razor.
160 flex.
amazing.
140 all the way flex.
140 all the way.
All scope. That's okay.
Is he okay?
This is okay.
Yeah, that was really soft. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the few aircraft they actually land a little bit smooth in the Navy. Not as much as they were for a couple of years there, but they try to save some time because these are old jets. But
Yeah. Because they hit that plane really hard into the ground, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, most of the normally you land a Super Hornet or a Hornet, just you don't pitch at all to flare, but they do it a little bit typically.
I think
These airplanes are the last they'll get for like 20 years, I think, so they have to keep them for a while.
Flex okay, boss.
Boss, I checks.
Yeah. Easy.
Roger.
Flex.
Check your smoke pressure off. Check your stabs. Flaps auto. Takes that off. Research trim safe seat.
Cat. Easy.
Roger.
Flex.
We will go well clear on Alpha for into the left 45s into chocks.
Cat. Easy.
Roger.
Flex.
Boss rep to 72%. Off. Brakes now. Nice flight, Big V.
That's good.
That was amazing.
Good.
Incredible.
I appreciate you joining.
Oh,
You had fun. Maybe you learned some stuff.
yeah, I learned a lot, and I think my stream viewers also learn a lot with you guys. Like
Awesome.
Mr. Cookie, he was saying that he learned a lot. And yeah, I really appreciate that you guys make this happen.
America wing.
with me.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We do this normally at least once a week, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. But we typically stream on the DCS World Blue Angels Twitch channel, and then the rest of the team has some personal channels that we might stream on as well, which are normally, I think they're linked in the DCS World Blue Angels Twitch description.
Yeah, for sure. For all of you here at the stream, go check the channel of DCS World Blue Angels. I will put the link on the ad for you guys. I really appreciate it that you let me fly with you. It was really fun and we learned a lot.
Absolutely. Glad to have you.
Solos and trail boss.
It's always good to have good questions as well, which there were definitely plenty of.
Yeah. There you have it, the DCS World Blue Angels Twitch channel for you guys to see the training that
Please well clear. This is well clear.
every week.
Well clear.
Thank you for the follow, Cookie, on the DCS World Blue Angels channel.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, amazing job. That was really, really good. Yeah, TZ streams from 3 position. He is the left wing. You follow him, very cool, very nice. Yeah, I think they have some videos on YouTube of the flights, right? That's right, Wizard. Can you talk more about that?
Easy brakes.
Yeah, so you can probably ask Coop that when we kind of do this afterwards. He'll be able to give maybe a little bit more because it's his channel we typically post stuff on. I have some stuff on my channel, but most of the stuff is on Coop's channel, where we post like video every once in a while, like music videos and stuff, which are neat, but they're typically on his channel. But it should be linked there in the DCS World Blue Angels Twitch description stuff as well.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
You can see the...
Okay, boss.
Boss, let's shut him down. Stand by the canopies, up, now. Stand by the ladders out now.
Well, that's all she wrote. I'm going to get out of VR here, and then we can chat, and everyone else will get back in here in a second. So thanks for joining in. We'll pop on out of here.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, we will be doing a debrief yet to watch back from the ground.
Okay, fantastic. So...
Am I muted? No, I'm not.
No, you are good. Can you wait for 1 minute, please?
It's gonna take me a minute to get stuff set up here, so yeah, you got about 5 minutes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Did you have some questions in the chat or anything that you wanted to chat about before we go into it?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, no problem in saying that was a really breathtaking performance. That was fantastic, guys. I really appreciate it that you guys...
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Peace, I'm gonna have to bounce you out of that jet here. I gotta switch track files over, so...
sorry, what?
You'll have to just bounce out of that jet and get out of the server, so I can switch track files over. Thank you.
I see one question that I can answer that's for me. And it's definitely push and pee.
Okay, I think you got your answer, no problem.
What was the question?
He said adding pee or pushing pee.
And Cookie, thank you so much for
All right,
being here.
how would we like to do this? We want me to stream on Twitch, where we'll have just the jets and music, and then you could just share like the screen?
Yes, it will be great.
Okay, I'll do that. It'll be on my personal Twitch then.
Okay, fantastic. I will join that. Or maybe maybe I will end my stream here. I will send the guys to your stream, and then we talk on your stream. What do you think?
No, no, because I won't be streaming Discord audio.
Oh, okay.
For reasons just more or less because that way you can separate Discord from the actual DCS audio.
Oh yeah, I can see.
So basically, just pull up Twitch on your end, and then you can just share my screen essentially, like stream your desktop.
Yeah, okay, I will stream your stream.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So you will set up that, and then we make the interview, right?
Yep. My stream. Yep, my stream is up right now.
Okay, fantastic.
Or it should be. Should be
this too. And yeah, that was a really cool experience, guys. What do you think? And Slicky, why is the Viper cooler than the Hornet? So yeah, as you can see, my favorite plane is the Viper. Yeah, for sure. I don't know why, but I just love that plane. It's a very intuitive plane, and yeah, you know, here in Portugal we just have the F-16 also, so it's being a really dream jet for me to fly. Unfortunately, I don't fly on real life, but they are doing some cool stuff here at Simulator. But yeah. And by the way, we have the guys muted on Discord. They are setting up also the stream or Tweezy. So go check the Tweezy channel. And yeah, I will set up also the stream of him for you guys to be able to see here on mine. And you will be also able to ask some questions through the interview that I will make to them. So for every one of you here with me, I really appreciate it that you are here. We hit almost 20 viewers. That was really cool. Okay, it's easy, stream up. I'm setting up that on my screen too. So here we go to make this. Okay, just setting up these guys. Will be fast. Easy 31. Okay, that's right. Okay, almost done, guys. Just wait for one more second. Ready here.
He is.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry.
Yep.
Oh,
You got your stream set up?
yeah, I have your stream.
There we go.
Yeah, that was a very cool fight, guys. I really appreciate it for you to having me on this, and I really appreciate your support.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Only took us about a month to get you in.
What?
It only took us a month to get you in.
Yeah, that sort of. That was not no problem.
Hey, Peace, if you want to pause your music, TZ will have music playing on his stream.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be the actual Blue Angel playlist.
What's like the copyright deals with Twitch?
Yeah, you
With
can't do
someone?
that if he
Yeah.
wants the audio.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, they just mute the audio. There's no
My ad,
repercussions.
that audio will not go to the vote.
Okay.
So he's muted my audio. Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Ooh, it's like 100 degrees.
Should I kill the music then?
Just play it quiet.
Oh, but the problem is that you are talking also on your
You mute yourself on
on
your
your
stream,
stream,
TZ.
right?
Do what?
Mute yourself on your stream, TZ.
Yeah, please.
I'm not talking on my stream.
Okay. You're just hearing it on your own stream, maybe?
I think I can hear you guys on your stream.
I can't.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, you could. I got it now. It was because I was streaming his audio on his Twitch.
Oh. Lovely.
This takeoff felt pretty good.
All right. I was thinking about redeeming the ejection thing on Peaceful Stream while we were flying.
That's what I was thinking. Hey, Peace, I'm not hearing the audio from TZ stream on your stream.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll turn the music way down so it's no copyright.
No, that's no problem. You can put the music as you can,
Okay.
as you want. Can you guys hear
You
the
bet.
stream now?
Yep, sounds good now.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Alright, I'll fast forward a little bit here since we sat.
Yeah. So, can you start also the interview?
Yep.
Yeah. So, to start, I think it will be great for the guys to know you. Can you start presenting yourself one by one, starting with number one?
Yeah, I'm Coop. I fly the #1 jet flight lead for the team. This is my first year flying flight lead. I was the #3 pilot for 5 years prior to that, and yeah, I picked up flying the lead position in October, and so just about 7-8 months now, probably flying the lead position, and I've been flying DCS for about 11 years now. So a little used to
Oh.
this, but leading's a new thing for me, so it's been fun.
Tomcat #2. I fly the right wing.
Can you just wait for a second? I'm hearing
Oh yeah, sure.
really quiet. I will bring your volume up.
That's dangerous.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I'm Tomcat. I fly #2 the right wing. Previously was boss for a couple years when we were doing supers or when we transitioned to the supers. That's it.
Really nice.
How'd you get your call sign, Tomcat?
I just really like Tom and Jerry growing up, and that's my favorite show. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that was a really good fun fact. Did you guys give the call sign to each other? I think Coop, you are Cooper, right?
Yeah, it's a play on one of my names. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a different call sign, but that's classified.
Okay. So now, Mr. Tweezy.
It'll be short and sweet because I got my music. Blast my ear in the game, blast my ear too. So, Teasy, if I left wing number 3, I've been on this team for about 3 minutes. And
3 minutes?
I've been flying. I've flown this demo for probably, I don't know, only 3 years. Flying DCS 3-4 years. Yeah. Glad to be here.
Nice.
I am Razor. I was the one on the stream earlier. I fly the 4 position. I've been on the team pretty much since we started it in 2018. I've flown the vast majority of positions at some point or another, except for 3 and lead. And then, sorry, I think my audio cut out there. But I've been flying Blues and Flight Sim for coming up on 10 years, like October of this year.
Fantastic, and thank you so much for having me in your plane. That was a really smooth ride.
Thanks for coming.
I think Flex is eating or getting something. He's got to make dinner, but I'll speak for him. He's the 5 pilot, so the lead solo. He's been on our team since we started in 2018, and he was our original boss in the Legacy Hornet. So he was our boss through the entirety of our time in the Legacy Hornet. And he's flown DCS for probably, I guess, 6 or 7 years now. He was on the Virtual Blue Angels back in 2018, maybe 19. I don't remember exactly the year, but yeah, he's been flying flight sims for quite some time too. And then our opposing solo, who wasn't here tonight, he is Nozzle. He's been flying flight sims for about 10 years now. He was on the FSX Thunderbirds back in the day, and he's been flying the 6th spot for us since we transitioned to Super Hornets in 2021.
Fantastic, thank you so much, Coop. So that was a really cool fight today. Can you guys tell me a little more about your team, how the team started, and what's your main goals with the team?
That sounds like a Coop answer.
Okay, so we started flying when the Hornet came out for Eagle Dynamics. Flex and I started doing some solo stuff, and then we all hung out in TeamSpeak together. And we started getting more flights together. We wanted to kind of keep flying, and it started out as solos, then it got into deltas, or diamonds rather, and then deltas. And we kind of realized we could actually get pretty good at this after about a year of flying. And so we all just kept flying the same positions, and we started flying in 2018. It was May of 2018, and we didn't become an official team in the community until 2021. And then we flew our first live performance at VIAF 2022, and then our second one at Summer Air Festival 2023. So kind of something you touched on, the goal of our team. Honestly, we enjoy flying this show. It's something that we want to get better at, and it's one of those things we all have a drive to reach for perfection, knowing that this isn't ever going to be perfect. We're all huge Blue Angel fans, have been for 15 years for me. But ultimately, it's something fun that we like to share with the community. If somebody gets some excitement out of this, or some enjoyment or inspiration, maybe. I know when I was a kid and I watched the Virtual Blue Angels, that was something that inspired me to want to pursue bigger goals in DCS. So, ultimately, I want to share some passion that we have with this, with the community, show the community that, teamwork, you really can make a lot of things that seem pretty difficult possible. But ultimately, it's something fun that we enjoy doing, and we all are good friends, and we enjoy spending time with each other.
Yeah, fantastic. So what in what I think Razor just said that you start flying that you are flying together since 2018. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you guys meet each other, and how do you bring up this group together to fly?
So it's kind of unique for each of us. Razor can kind of touch on this a little bit. I knew him before we were on this team. Razor, if you
I
want to touch
think
on that a little bit.
well, I mean, I think we knew each other in real life actually first because we liked the Blue Angels and we happened to be in similar circles watching the Blues, and we met each other in real life first, and then kind of pretty quickly realized that we also both enjoyed flight sim stuff. So it's kind of yeah, and this community is very small, so I think there's a lot of people that know other people, and so that's kind of how I think most people got in here. Is you know, I knew Coop knew Raptor, and I knew Flex, and Coop knew Flex as well, and so like there's just a bunch of interconnectedness that you know, you get to know people and kind of say, hey, I think this person would enjoy doing this, and that's kind of how we go about that, or how most people have joined. It wasn't we never do any applications, or we've never done any applications. We've never had open applicants or anything like that. It's kind of you have to fit the team, as in get along with everyone and get on here and have fun first. And then that's when we kind of start looking at, and maybe this person could fly if we have a position open.
Yeah, I will say, even someone in here, Dreadnought was actually an original member on our team, and he happened to know a few guys who are now on our team as well. So it was kind of a conglomerate of people coming together, and we're able to meet each other. And once we started getting more comfortable with this demo, that's when we decided to kind of set some formal positions and some formal practices. And TZ is our newest team member.
Hey.
He joined our team back in the spring of this year, and he was flying with another group, and he came in and would fly with us every now and then. And we saw, his ability is obviously really good at formation flying, but he also is, somebody that we saw that meshed with us, and our personalities are good for each other, and we all kind of hang out and naturally want to
They're
go hang out
nasty.
together.
Slinky.
Officer
But yeah, so
Nest.
he's our newest team member.
It's a secret.
Yeah, TZ, how do you adapt to the team, and how is how good is flying with this team?
No, it's good. We're all pretty like-minded here. That's what makes it so easy to mesh together. I think that's just an overall deal with this team, is everyone's like-minded and enjoy the same thing. Oh, I think I left Flex's view there a little early.
Yeah,
Oh, it's been good. I
that's
flew on the a different team for a couple of years. Just the DCS Blue Angels is their name, but did that for a few years, and I've known. I think Coop, we met. Probably summer, I suppose, like 2020 or something like that.
Yeah, I
I
think
think we just randomly flew together in the AO, and that's what inspired me to do Blue Angel stuff. I started DCS, and I just didn't really care for the combat portion of the thing, so I started flying formation like religiously, and that's where I am today now, just flying this with them.
Yeah, fantastic. So about your practice sessions, that's a question that I have a lot from my Portuguese friends in the squadron that I am playing. That's called Esquadra 701. That's the logo that you are seeing on the poster on the left corner. So the question that we have a lot is what kind of training and practicing do you do for you to be flying at this level, and for how many hours do you think that we have to fly and to practice weekly to be as good as you guys are doing here?
Reese, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, so I think for the first part, how much did we fly before we got, or how much we practice now is very different to how much we practiced in 2018. So in 2018, without getting into it, I think all of us were in very different places in our lives. We were younger and we're in college or whatever, and had a lot more time generally to fly. And doing this for the number of years that we have now, coming up on 6 years or over 6 years now, everyone's obviously had other changes, and so we have we typically fly about once a week. Somewhere around there, like I said earlier, we might fly 3 or 4 times a week, 1 week, and then we might not fly for 2 or 3 weeks because everyone ends up being busy or whatever. But back when we started in like 2018, we were flying probably 5, 6, 7 nights a week and multiple times.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Because everyone needed to learn how to fly with each other. So like Coop said earlier, Flex was leading, so you had to learn how to fly off a different lead, which none of us were used to flying off of him. He had to learn how to lead. We all had to learn how the jet flew. Once you kind of have an established core group of individuals, it's a little bit easier to add someone with a reasonable skill set, or a good skill set, or a really good skill set. Because you can give them some pointers of, hey, this is what we know to work. Whereas, we started with kind of nothing. We were all clean slate. We had to learn because the jet, just came out when we started flying. And then as far as how much time it will take someone else at that, or how much time we have had, I don't even know. To venture a guess would be a couple thousand hours each, probably, as an average, throughout all of the experience everyone has. So, I think Flex, myself, Coop, Tomcat, I think pretty much everyone has flown on a different Blue Angels team of some sort prior to this. So it wasn't like we even came in with no experience either. And then, like I said, yeah, there's probably 1,000 plus hours that we've put into it, but that's not an indication of how long it'll take any particular person. We've had people on this team, I've had people on the other team I used to lead, that could come in and they could pick it up really fast. And really fast might be a couple months of flying 2, 3 nights a week. But then there's other people that they have to learn a different way, and you have to learn how to teach a different way. And so it might take a lot longer. And so it just depends on the person more than anything. And it depends on the person and the group, I guess, as well. So you can't have, if one person wants to fly 7 nights a week and someone else wants to fly 1 night a week, or can only fly 1 night a week, that's going to be very difficult to get those two people to mesh really well on a flying aspect. So it's kind of a key part is being able to have everyone's schedule work with each other so that you can get as many practices or as many flights in as you can in a given time period. And so it's incredibly variable. So I can't give you a time and say if you flew exactly 500 hours or if you flew exactly 1,000 hours, then you would automatically be at the same level or better or whatever. I can't give that. And I think anyone that can or that does would be inaccurate or just guess.
I think one thing to add to that would be that, like, when we don't fly for a week or two, like, we can definitely feel it, but the rest kind of kicks off 3 or 4 maneuvers into the show. Whereas, like, if we did that way back in the day, because we don't have that reps and that consistency, and, like, I mean, there's something to be said for, like, you got to feel this demo, but at the same time, like, we didn't know numbers and we didn't know parameters, and it was just such a guessing game in 2018. Whereas now, there's very little guessing. We all know what we're supposed to hit. We all know where we're going. Like, that's why we can take time off and kind of get back into it. Is the consistency of which we're doing this show is very similar, whereas there's a lot more variability when we started. So that's another thing for people trying to get into formation flying, is understanding parameters, not just of the Blues show, but if you're flying a specific show, understanding the parameters of that and being able to replicate that over and over and over again, because that's what you build consistency off of. It's not just like, hey, I'm going to go up and fly and ultimately get better. It's being consistent at the same thing and getting better at that.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, so like just as a final thing on that, so like
Sure.
right, what Coop was saying there is if you're trying to form a team or to get everyone very consistent on flying, you want to have the same person leading if you can help. Because if, we've had Flex, Tomcat, and Coop have all led on an official capacity on this team, every single person flies each maneuver differently, every turn differently, every pull, every drive or push, every loop and roll. So if you're cycling through different leads, that's fine if you just want to fly formation. But if you want to get to a point of flying a demo very accurately and very consistently, you have to have the same lead. And like Coop said, they have to be willing to kind of find those numbers and fly those numbers.
I'll add one more thing before we move off this topic is it's hard. And that's ultimately the biggest, this is hard. It's not easy. And that's not to pat ourselves on the back, but I say that as don't get frustrated. Don't get upset when it doesn't look good the first few times, because it was not good when we first started. We still have videos from when we first started flying, and it looks nothing like this. This is 5 years, 6 years of practice and knowing what we're doing now. So don't get discouraged when it's hard, because it should be hard. But if you notice small improvements over time, that's what's rewarding.
Yeah, that was a really amazing tip because, yeah, like I'm start.
There you go, Tomcat.
What?
Huh?
Sorry, I wanted to say good job, Tomcat, on the break on the.
Thank you. I
funnel.
fixed it.
Yeah. Sorry.
So I was saying that I'm starting my stream and I'm starting into aerobatic worlds really recently. So yeah, I'm facing that troubles about us eating a lot and crashing a lot. That's why I have fireworks on my stream. Yeah, sometimes it can be really frustrating, but I think that when you want to do this and you put the time and the effort into this, that's really great at the end. Yeah, but
Yeah, for sure. The two things I would add to what you just said there is, one is that every single person I have assisted in learning to fly the demo at any point in the 10 years I've been doing this, including myself, every person has come in and said, "That's crazy how you guys do that. I could never do that."
Yeah.
And TZ is on the team, and you saw how he flew. He was one of those people. So you can get there, you just have to practice. And then the other part to that, as far as, bumping and hitting each other or whatever, the big thing there is, we talked about it a little bit on the stream, flying smooth and trying to keep safety in mind a little bit. If that is the goal, then you back out a little bit, you fly the same reference, just a little bit further away, and you make this box around your airplane, and everyone has this box around their airplane, and they try to stay in their own box. And if you don't, then you need to move out of the formation, reset yourself, take a breath, and then move back in.
Yeah.
We saw that tonight, didn't we?
Well, what perfect timing to bring that conversation up. This maneuver is the hardest maneuver that I struggle with.
Yeah.
That's a perfect point. Like what Razor's talking about is that exactly right there. Is like I try to draw that box, which is super difficult, and I still struggle with that maneuver, which messes him up on top of it.
So what are you guys looking on that maneuver? What do you aim for? Each one of you, number 2, number 3, and 4.
Well, I can kind of answer on all of us. Basically, my job is to set the formation to a certain set that we're aiming for, and their job, 3 and 4, is basically to line up the heads. So 4 is lining up 3's head and my head and Boss's head. And when you have all the heads lined up, then the jets are all kind of like in formation, sort of. They're lined up, looks good. So basically, whatever I set, they just line up the heads after that.
Yeah, fantastic. But Razor said when we are flying the Big Five, the Big V, sorry, they said on stream that he's looking also for the boss, right? On the
Right.
Airshow parade, the guys that are behind also look for the boss the most, or do you follow the guy on front of you?
Combination of both, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a combination, which makes it super difficult because you have the guy in front of you that's bouncing up and down, so you're trying to fly through them at the same time as lining up the heads and watching for Boss's head to make sure that they are lined up. Because if you can see Boss's head I mean, you're kind of in a good situation. I mean, Razor, you can probably hit on that the most because you and I talk about it probably the most in this demo. Because I struggle with it, but
yeah, I mean the big thing is you definitely want to your anchor, if you will, should be Boss's jet. Now, if you can see all of Boss's jet, that actually means you're too high in that maneuver, but that's getting a little bit in the weeds. But you want to be able to see something on Boss's jet that you can reference that you're flying off of. So typically you want two places so that you can see pitch and roll at the same time. But you want to fly off of Boss's jet, and then you're looking at 2 and 3 kind of as a peripheral vision kind of. You're lining up the heads, so that's your positioning, but you want to be flying off of Boss while using 2 and 3, or just 2 if you're 3, to set your positioning. Because if you try to fly off of 2 as 3 or off of 3 as 4, then what you're going to end up doing, that's what we were talking about, where you accordion a little bit or a lot of it. Because if I'm just flying wing off of 3 and 3 moves 1 foot up and down, then I'm going to try to move that 1 foot up and down, but I'm going to be a little behind. I'm going to be lagged behind that pitch or that movement because I have to react to it. So then I'm moving up when 3 is moving back down to try to correct for his mistake. And so then you get this bouncing and this kind of wave effect go down the formation.
Yeah, nice. So now that we are talking about more technical questions, can you guys talk about a little more of the demo of Airshow, the maneuvers that you guys perform? Can you talk a little of technical aspects of that, like starting with the diamond half squirrel cage?
Yeah, so I mean, Razor touched on a little bit of everybody's gonna have their different intricacies about their flight. So like if I go lead the diamond up scroll cage, Tomcat's gonna lead it slightly different, even though we're all trying to aim for the same numbers.
Yeah.
Some of the hard parts of it is like you're trying to balance, at least this is the things I've learned as a flight lead, is you're trying to balance smoothness with hitting numbers. And so ultimately there's a fine balance between like, hey, I can hit the vertical 4-5, but how hard do I have to pull to do that? And it's like if I'm behind, then I can't really catch up. By the way, piece your stream, it minimized, I think.
Yep.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yep.
We'll try to fix it.
There you go.
It's working now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But ultimately, like each maneuver has its own like little difficulties. And one thing to know is like this flight model is new on the Hornet. It came out like 2-3 months ago. So we're kind of relearning how to ride the bike, if you will.
Yeah.
There's little things that are different. So like the power is a little bit different. The pull's a little bit different. So like what we were used to with our muscle memory is now slightly different.
Yeah. How often do they change the flight model of the Hornet?
They haven't had a big overhaul like this one for probably 2 years. This might be the last big overhaul.
Okay, nice. So for you, Coop, that are the leader, you are saying that you are always trying to hit the numbers, but to hit that smoothly, right?
Yeah.
What is the most difficult maneuver that you are flying as a leader?
They're all like, this is a cliche answer, but like
Yeah.
they're all hard in their own ways,
Mhm.
especially with the level of precision we're looking for. I mean, I can feel the guys on my wing, and so like I have that in the back of my head of like I can feel them, especially like on the tighter sets. I can feel when they're there, and so like I'm trying to balance those turns and those looping maneuvers. I would say the hardest one is probably like something more mechanical, like the barrel brake, but low brake cross, loop brake cross, like those have got a lot of moving parts. The loop brake cross as the boss has a ton of moving parts that you all have to manage. And so that's one of the things is the boss is not only are you flying the show, but you're managing the show and you're also directing everybody's energy and stuff. So it's like if I'm off by something, everyone's off. And so it's like there's a lot of specifics I have to be right on in order to make everything work out well. And so comms, numbers, lineups, all that stuff. There's a lot that goes into it, and then it's shaping maneuvers to make them look right. And so there's just a lot that goes into it. And thankfully, I've been watching the Blues 15 years, so I have a really good idea of taking what I see with my eyes or see on YouTube and making it look like that in the game. And that's probably like the most important part is like maybe the numbers are a little bit different, but like does it look like what we see at the show? And ultimately that's what we're going for.
Yeah. And how do you guys coordinate the timings of the diamonds with the solos?
Flex would tell you that. But basically, so as the boss, I'm never behind, if that makes sense. The solos are always timing off of me. Because I have 3 jets on my wing. I can't speed up or slow down to make their timing work. So he listens for specific parts of the comms that you heard. So like for example, the vertical break that we just did on stream, when he hears me say, up we go, a little more pull. Good diamond. Adding power, that's when he starts his timing pattern to come in. So it's on these different pieces of comm that he goes by. That's when he starts his timing pattern. So that's why when I'm transmitting on comm 2, he has that up so he can hear it.
Yeah, okay, I can see. And now maybe a question for Flex now. I don't know if he's here. Are you here, Flex?
I don't think he is.
Still eating probably. Yeah, but maybe you guys can also, yeah, for sure that you guys can also answer that. How do solos coordinate the timings to hit the center point at the same time?
Yeah, so they every jet has a timer in it, so it's a little stopwatch, and then there's typically a mile marker of some sort at 4 miles. So normally it's a physical location. Sometimes in real life it's typically off the line, but in the sim we normally put an actual marker there. And then, like Coop said, based on a certain timing, either in a cadence or a call or just based on experience, then Flex will make a set of calls, basically verifying that 6 is in the correct place. And then they'll start the timer and they'll aim to be at the 4 mile marker after a certain period of time. And then all the way from 4 miles all the way into show center, 6 is making specific calls saying where he is, how fast he's going, and if he's late or early in some cases, so that 5 can adjust for that so that they cross show center at the same time.
Yeah,
that's the short version of it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so nice. So will we be able to see you guys on some recently upcoming air shows?
Yeah, so obviously we have our Twitch page, DCS World Blue Angels, and we stream on there pretty consistently, our practices.
Yeah.
So that's one place you can check us out if you're in the hankering for some blues. But we're slated to fly the last show of the year for VAF, so the Virtual International Air Festival in December.
Nice.
We're planning on, or at least we're going to have the opportunity to sign up for that show and submit quality control. And barring any trouble with quality control and getting in, that's our scheduled show for the year. And then we could have one more show that's in the works right now. I don't want to speak for the organizer yet, but there's a possibility that happens too.
Fantastic. Yeah, very great. So as you said, you have a Twitch channel that you stream your practice sections. How are the other ways that viewers can get in touch with you? I know that you have also a Discord channel. That's right.
I have a question for you.
For me?
quick shameless plug real quick. We have a YouTube channel, which is my YouTube channel, and it's got a lot of our cinematic videos, and then we have an Instagram page as well, DCS World Blue Angels.
Yeah, very great. Tomcat, what are you saying?
Yeah. What was your favorite maneuver tonight to ride along with? Like, what did you like the most?
Yeah, it's really hard to pick one, but as I was saying to Razor when we are flying, the diamond aileron roll is one of my favorite maneuvers because it looks so simple, but when you guys make it look when you guys make it really on time, it was really nice.
I also have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
The interviewer becomes the interviewee. How did you get into the Blue Angels?
Sorry, what?
How did you become interested in the Blue Angels?
Oh, that's a really fun question. So I don't know if, how long do I know the real Blue Angels? Sort of years, I think. And so I started playing DCS World in about 1 year now, a little more, and I'm starting my streams in about 1.5 months. And yeah, when I start streaming, I goes a lot to aerobatic server, and yep, just trying to performing some aerobatics with no clues of the the maneuvers that I am doing. But then I get in touch with some of the guys that are flying with me on my Discord, like No Problem, that you guys know. And yeah, we start to trying to put some formations as Blue Angels do. And of course I saw a lot of you guys videos on Twitch and on YouTube, and I'm learning a lot of you in this month.
Yeah. Do you have any plans to go see the real Blue Angels?
To what? Sorry?
To watch the real Blue Angels in person?
Oh yeah, I love that. So, but I live in Portugal. It's a little far from US.
It's just a plane ticket away.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
probably a lengthy ride.
Yeah, so maybe in 2 years or so I will be able to watch them, and maybe we meet each other there. What do you think?
Yeah, it'd be a fun show.
Yeah, that will be really amazing to see them fly. What can you guys say about the real show and about the difference that is from the virtual skies?
It's really loud. They're a lot better. They're really good. They're in person, they look, I mean, it's impossible to describe how smooth they fly, which it helps that it's real life, but they look like 4 jets welded together, and they fly so incredibly close when they're at the end of their season sets. And the smell, you get the jet fuel, the sunburn from the sun at the air show. You get the whole experience, but it's something that inspired me as a really young kid, to pursue aviation in my life. And so, I mean, it means a lot to me. That's why I care about it so much, and I put this time into flying it on the computers, because what it means to me and how much I enjoy that aspect. It's a breathtaking display, and it's 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. It's beyond anything we could ever put on in DCS. But we do our best to make it look as close as we can.
Yeah, that's one thing that you said that's really, really great. That the community on this simulator and especially into aerobatics, they are really they have a really good passion about aviation in general. Don't you think?
Yeah, I would think this is one of the stronger communities when it comes to there's a lot of people who are real pilots that fly this sim, and it's very niche, but a lot of people are really dedicated to it.
Yeah, that's what I am saying, and what I am seeing on this past of months. So yeah, for end interview, maybe a question for each one of you, maybe starting by the number one. From your experience, what are the best tips that you have to share and that you want to share with the guys starting on virtual aerobatics?
Sure. Real quick, I saw a chat question that I'll answer real quick. It says, "Have you been able to spend any time interviewing or comparing notes with the real Blue Angel?" Not like formally, but there's been instances where some maneuvers have been clarified or some practices that we've been able to kind of get some numbers, if you will, answered, but never really sat down as a team and been like, "Hey, Blue Angels, talk to us about the show." But it'd be an amazing opportunity, and absolutely we'd all be really, really jazzed for that, and it'd be a really special moment for our entire team. But no, I mean we've interacted with them individually on kind of a personal level, but never in a team capacity.
Yeah,
Well,
nice, thank you.
one time it was kind of that way back in 2019.
Yeah, that is true. We had a cool experience where one of the Blue Angels at the time was we or some people in the team knew him pretty well, and so we were able to get into um, cool opportunities to hang out with that particular Blue Angel for a little bit and answer some questions. And actually took us up to one of the jets and showed us some of the site pictures. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, so cool, nice, very nice. So, and what is the best tip that you have to share with all the guys starting at virtual aerobatic?
Find something you enjoy doing. Do it with people you care about, and the rest will take care of itself. Um, Not to get super sentimental, but like these guys are some of my best friends, and that makes me want to fly the show
Oh,
better. Like I want to do the best I can because I want it to look good, but also I don't want to let these guys down. And so that's what I want to give them the best platform they can to fly off of so that they can look the best they can. And if I don't do that, I feel like I've let them down. And so like these guys are really, really close friends. Like they're my friends first, my wingman second, and teammates third. Like that's the way I view it. And so if you find friends to do this with, and if you find, the passion to want to keep doing this, the show will take care of itself eventually. And I really genuinely believe that's why you can see us flying the way we do is because we care about putting on a show for each other in a certain sense of doing this not for any one individual, but for the team.
oh, that's amazing. And Tomcat, what are the things that you want to share?
I want to share something.
Tip for people trying to get into
Yeah.
aerobatics.
Oh, a tip? Yeah. Start small, aim big. I would say same thing with Coop. If you can find people you really jazz with extremely well, that's kind of like the biggest thing. I think what makes most of the best formation teams on DCS successful is that it's usually just people that are really good friends with each other.
Very nice. And Tweezy.
Easy. Probably the biggest thing that helped me when trying to fly aerobatics, learning it, was stop overthinking it. What is the saying? Like every action causes a reaction. So like you do something, you're probably gonna overdo it.
Yeah,
But
that's
really,
a
when
problem of
formation
mine.
stuff like, yeah, like it really, when you try to make an adjustment, it doesn't really take that much. The other tip is we've all agreed on this. I mean, I know me and Coop for one, Tomcat, Razor hasn't flown with us in the 4A in a while, but I know he would agree as well. But just jumping in the AO and flying off of someone without comms is probably like the best training you could ever get. All of a sudden, this jet's coming left, and you have to react to it, and you had no idea he was going to. It makes you basically refine your own skills without actually trying.
Nice. Very nice tip. And Razor.
Yeah, I mean, I think on top of what everyone else has said is, I mean, kind of to build on what TZ said, it's basically what I've been, what I talked about a fair bit while we were flying and talked about a little bit here in earlier in the chat is being smooth over fighting for your position. So we talked about it a little bit where we fly in, but it's very tempting for people that are getting into this to try to fly in the exact correct position. And that's why I think I'm a little bit hesitant when you might be asking a little bit more specific questions about positioning to give that exact reference. Because if you have that reference, then you really, really fight to see that reference. So like in real life, the reference they're using is one letter on a piece of, like, it's a decal on the side of the airplane. And if they're one letter too far forward or back or up or down, they're out of position. So like we try to use the same reference. We obviously don't get to quite that level. We try to. So if you're really focused on that, then you end up, like TZ said, you end up bouncing and moving around a bunch. So you want to prioritize smooth. So you want to be in the area, in the region of where you're supposed to be. Try to fly smooth. If you start getting a little bit deep or a little bit high or a little bit flat or tight or whatever, then you just slowly make an adjustment the other direction. As long as it's safe, you make a adjustment slowly the other direction, and you let it drift back into the position over 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 seconds. Not, oh my goodness, I have to change this right now and bank like 5 degrees or pitch like 2 degrees or whatever, because you're never going to be able to get consistent flying your position doing that.
Yeah, fantastic. Very nice. So once again, guys, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. And yeah, this flight was really, really cool. That was a really cool experience. And I also appreciate all the support that you guys are doing to me. And yeah, I'm learning a lot about aerobatics from you, and it's been really great. Aviation is a passion of mine since I was a kid. I think we are all in the same in the same step here. Yeah, because when I was a kid, I dreamed about being an aviation pilot, a real world. My life doesn't go to that place, but it's been really great that I'm having this type of experiences here in the virtual skies, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing for me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for the fight today, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you, guys.
And just think of how upset you were when we were messing with you in the 4A.
Oh,
that's how this all started.
Yeah, this all started like this. You are trolling me
fun.
on my stream, and
yeah.
I plead guilty.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that was a good time.
That was.
Well, we appreciate having you. We enjoyed it. We always like sharing this with folks, and I hope that experience was not only fun for you, but the fun for the viewers of your chat, and maybe answered a question or two that somebody had, and hopefully, I see some folks flying around the 4YA. We pop in every now and then, and if you see us in there, we're not in a really tight diamond, because sometimes we do go in there and fly a show. But if we're not in a tight diamond, we're just kind of flying around, happen to join office and come fly, and we'll, show you the road a little bit.
Yeah, fantastic, guys. Are you on chat? Have some questions for them? Maybe RSK? He's saying thank you all, great teamwork. Yeah, it was really amazing. Do you have some questions to make to them?
Was there anyone during the flight that had questions that didn't get answered?
Sorry, what, TZ?
Was there any other questions during the flight that didn't get answered?
Yeah,
Tomcat, you did that right this time. I pulled too much right away. Looks good though.
Yeah, that was looking really great.
Oh, wow.
So I asked Razor on that maneuver how many Gs he's pulling. It said that he's around 2 Gs. And TZ and Tomcat, how much are you pulling?
I don't think I've ever really looked. Yeah.
I know initially to get myself horizon with boss, I'm pulling up to a 1.7 Gs, but it bleeds off just to maintain that like that nice like cupping. I don't know what you want to call it, but the burst look. So I think it changes for me at
$5
least.
Thunderbird name.
What?
I know for me,
I said $5 in the hat. Thunderbird name for the
Oh
maneuvers.
yeah.
I know for
I'll
me,
just describe
my
what it looks like.
pull,
Thank you.
my pull is 1.5 G up to 3.5 alpha. So like that's one thing with this show is like it's not necessarily just G. There's a lot of things I reference is G, alpha, airspeed, and pitch. Those are kind of the big ones, and power setting. That's honestly G and power setting are like the biggest ones. So yeah, on that one, like I'm looking for 1.5 Gs, which will equate to 3 alpha if I'm at the right airspeed, which we were at tonight.
Nice. Are you guys, especially the wingmans, are you also looking to the lead on that maneuver, or you just look to your head and to your instruments?
Yeah, I'm looking both ways. I like to kind of cross-reference between Razor and Boss. Or what I'm trying to do is like set a bank angle to make it look matched compared to the air side, and I'm mostly staring at Boss and trying to keep him just slightly above the horizon.
Yeah, nice. Look how cool are you guys flying there. And that's the Delta pitch up break. Fantastic. It was really cool. And the oh, I forgot about the name. The line abreast loop was really cool too.
That's a
That
tough
one's
one.
pretty tough.
Yeah.
yeah, that was very nice.
It actually did look pretty decent tonight. That's probably one of the hardest ones in this flight model right now to get used to. Well, to be fair, any looping maneuver right now is pretty difficult.
Except for the dirty loop.
Except for the dirty loop. That
Yeah, that's.
Do you think
my
that the
favorite
dirty loop
maneuver right
is
now is
easy?
the dirty loop too. What's up?
Do you think that the dirty loop is easier than the other loops?
This is the best
Yes.
flight model, dirty. Like this is the best flight model to do the dirty loop. It's so nice in this flight model.
Oh,
Even with the
very
board,
nice.
the speed brake glitch right now, it's a pretty easy maneuver.
Oh yeah. And there it comes.
Very fun.
Coop.
Oh, wait a second. I just figured out a way we could solve the speed brake issue. Let's just do a loop before we drop the speed brakes. So like behind the crowd, just do a loop real quick and pop it on the backside, and we're good. I guess that's a yes, right, Tomcat?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
RSK there in the chat is asking about the speed brake glitch. So
yeah.
So basically, there's we're pretty confident it's a glitch with the new flight control system. But basically, when you put the speed brakes out, it kind of locks. It doesn't lock your controls, but if you don't make a control input, the next control input you make is exacerbated by like 10 times. It's just really weird. It makes it very difficult to know the adjustment that's going to be made. It's just a weird. There's something weird in the code that they made a mistake on.
Yeah, the real plane doesn't fly like that, right? The real plane compensates for that.
Yeah, so the real plane almost certainly has a pitch moment of some sort, so like it might pitch up a little bit. Although the Super Hornet's probably a lot better than Legacy Hornet would have been with the better computers and stuff it has. But it probably has some change. But the problem with the glitch that exists is that there's just a random adjustment that happens where the jet either climbs or descends on its own basically as soon as you make the next control input. So even if you make a 2% bank to the right, the jet will want to pitch up a little bit, and it's uncommanded. So it's just a weird glitch.
Yeah, that's because of the speed brake risk. And how do you guys solve the problem that we have flying online with desync and the delay? How do you guys make the delay disappear, sort of thing?
And you can't make all of the delay disappear. So that's one of the advantages of doing this together for 6 years at this point, is that we've kind of learned. So like I know that Flex and Tomcat are on the opposite coast to where I am. So they're 1,500, 2,000 miles away. So I know that if I hear them say something on a comm, then that's actually a little bit delayed, more so than if I hear Coop, who's a lot closer. So there's some of that kind of stuff that we've kind of learned over 6 years of flying together, to kind of compensate for a little bit. And then, to be straightforward, DCS is pretty good about netcode at this point, and their delay. Obviously, if you're across an ocean or things like that, or you're thousands of miles away, you're going to start running into issues. And if you have any internet issues, latency issues, then there's nothing you can do to fix that other than better internet, basically. But as far as like adjustments, flight control adjustments, those are almost instantaneous. They're as close to instantaneous as you're probably going to get in a sim. The delay, there's a little bit of a delay on the audio, in the in-game audio. It's I don't know, probably a 1/8 of a second or so, where it is noticeable, it's measurable. But like I said, that's just something you learn how we have to deal with that.
Yeah.
I think the biggest point with that is just you get used to flying with the people that you're normally flying with. So everything's the same every time you fly. So that delay becomes just natural at that point. So Coop says coming left, I know when I need to start coming left because he does it the same time every time he says it. So it's basically muscle memory at that point.
Fantastic. And look, you are coming into the stop. That's really nice. Oh, question.
One of the hardest maneuvers, the parking.
Yeah. Multiplayer works pretty well. Yeah, that's right. Why do you guys have the Thunderbirds planes like that?
Just I was making a mission and I thought it'd be cool to have it. Also wanted to stress test to see 6 other jets in the server, see how everyone's frames would hold up.
Yeah, very nice. That's really interesting because when I start playing on, and I start streaming and playing with the guys that are on my Discord channel, I also make a mission where I have the Thunderbirds right next to Blue Angels.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to have that in the mission, and then like I said, it also is kind of a good stress test to see how much stuff we can put in a server.
Yeah, right.
That just looks nice too.
And do you guys often fly the F-16 in formation and making some aerobatics with the Viper?
Some of us did.
Now and do, but it's harder. It's hard to switch back and forth.
Yeah.
There was a period of time there that I don't know, 3 or 4 of us were flying it quite a bit. Again, when we all had a lot more time, we had time to take off from flying the Blues to fly Thunderbirds a little bit, but we typically are committing to flying Blues if we have time together.
Yeah. So once again, guys, thank you so much for having me on your practice and your performance. I really appreciate the time that you guys are sharing with me, and yeah, I hope we do something like this soon. It'll be great.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you flying with us. Thanks for it.
Yeah. So, for all of you here at the stream, do you have any last questions?
And if not, right now we have a Discord channel, or we have a Discord server.
Yeah.
And you guys can go in there, and we have a Q&A section in there that that you can ask questions about the show in there.
Would you like me to post the link in your Twitch chat?
Yeah, for sure. You can do that.
Okay.
I also posted the DCS, the Twitch channel.
There you
In a
go.
while, I can put that on again.
I appreciate you coming out. It's fun.
Yeah, it's been really great to share these moments with you guys.
Yeah, do us a favor and make sure that you save your VODs, right?
Yeah, I'm saving all
perfect.
of my VODs, and I'm planning to also upload the video to YouTube.
Oh wow, okay. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, one last time. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your time, and that was a very great fight. And yeah, see you guys soon, and thank you.
Yep, of course.
You bet.
Thanks again.
Yeah, that's
bye
perfect.
guys, see you. Bye.
Yeah.
So, and that was it. That was the fight and the event with DCS World Blue Angels. Make sure you go check the channel of them. Make sure you follow them. As you can see, they are putting a lot of effort here together, and flying together as a team, it's not easy, and they are making this looking so great. So yeah, okay, what I'm doing here, okay, right, this okay, there you have it. For all of you that are here with me on stream, I really appreciate your time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was an amazing fight, and see you guys soon. Maybe tomorrow I will be doing a stream a little later, this time around 11 p.m. UTC time. Yeah, let's see. Thank you so much once again. If you like stuff like that, make sure you follow the channel, and yeah, YouTube channel will come really soon. Oh, I'm to finish some fireworks from TZ. Oh, where do I fly? Yeah, I usually fly with the boys. You can type, oh yeah, actually I can make that for you. You can join my Discord server. We have a lot of good pilots there, and I usually fly with them on 4YA Aerobatic Server UK. I'm trying to improve, and I am improving a lot of my flight skills. Yeah, and trying to reach the level that DCS World Blue Angels have. I hope one day, I hope I'm putting a lot of effort on that too, but let's see. Once again, thank you so much for being here, and yeah, let's rate someone. I will check who can be rated. You enjoyed the rope fight earlier. Yeah, very nice, very nice, very cool. Thank you so much for being here and for asking questions on chat. That was really fun. It's been really great to see your support also on my chat stream. So almost 3:30 a.m. here in Portugal. It's been really late. So let's rate someone. I'm watching someone for us to rate. Who is that? Here. One guy here buying the Kiowa. Don't know him. Seems like he's having a nice fight, so let's rate him. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you once again for being here. See you guys soon. Thank you so much. Bye. See ya.